and video collaboration space. Let's get started.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 8.
This is Let's Chat Live, and Tess Protesto here with
Paul Richards.
It's going to be an exciting show today. It's all about a question that we get all the time about HuddleCam cameras. Can you live stream with a HuddleCam HD camera?
Yes, that's the question that we're going to answer today, and we're going to show you not only how to live stream with one camera, but multiple cameras, and go over the HuddleCam HD Joystick and how that works, how to use a free live streaming software called OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, but also look at vMix, which is a kind of a popular favorite for a lot of the more professional streamers as well.
So I guess the big reveal here is, yes, it is possible to live stream from a HuddleCam HD camera. They are built typically for video conferencing, but luckily they have some pretty sweet features that do allow you to live stream with them.
Yes, and before we get too deep into the show, I want to let everyone know we're giving away a HuddleCam Go. This is our brand new video conferencing camera. So you go to HuddleCamHD.com/show, and you can enter to win live a HuddleCam Go. These are worth $299. Great, really affordable, portable, small huddle room conference camera. So it's a really great product, and we hope that somebody is definitely going to win this today. This is the 8th one we've given away on this show, since we're on episode 8.
Yeah, so there is still time to enter. We announced the winner at the after the show, just about at the end. And I did post the link in the chat previously if you want to access that now.
Great, so let's get started. We've got a really fun presentation for you guys that's going to take you through step by step, very easily, and learn how to do plug and play live streaming, meaning we're really using, plug and play USB equipment in order to set up what I consider a pretty advanced live stream, yet simple as well. So here's our presentation here. You can see we set up a little live interview with a HuddleCam there. And in fact, we've got a little B-roll actually. Why don't we roll that really quickly? Just hit the B-roll button. It should, I just want to show this quickly. Here's an example of an interview that we shot, and we used the HuddleCam cameras. You can see there, that's in like a classroom environment where the cameras are plugged in to show I call that a conference stream really. And then there's a HuddleCam. You can see it just plugged in with USB, but we still have control over it. And then there's another HuddleCam there showing an over-the-shoulder shot for an interview. And then there's the HuddleCam, in the midst of a conference. So that's all we need to show. I just wanted to show. Those are some examples of how it can work. Hi, Dean Norman. Don't forget, guys, this is a live show.
Yeah, we want you to be, communicating with us in the chat, and we will share your comments live.
So before we get into the presentation deeply, I wanted to go over the live streaming lingo, something that we might take for granted.
Yeah, and those of you who have HuddleCam cameras might not be so familiar with live streaming with them because you're using them for video conferencing. So let us introduce you to some words you might want to familiarize yourself with live streaming.
So why don't you take the first one, Tess?
All right, CDN stands for Content Delivery Network.
So this is the place that you live stream to. And what the Content Delivery Network does is you stream to them, and then they deliver your content to people all around the world.
Perfect. Examples, where we are right now, Facebook and YouTube.
We're streaming to Facebook and YouTube right now. That's called simulcasting.
Okay.
Streaming to multiple destinations at the same time, which you can do. But you might want to start out, if you're just beginning, maybe just go to Facebook, just go to YouTube, and then as you learn and you branch out, you can do multiple destinations at the same time, actually.
Important to note, those are also free platforms to live stream too.
Yes. Now, Vimeo and Livestream are premium networks. So if you're charging for your setup and you want to have people put a paywall in, so people have to pay to watch your event, you can do so.
Okay.
There's a lot of features in there.
These next ones that we're going to cover are still, I'm learning to familiarize myself with these terms as well, RTMP, Real-Time Media Protocol.
Yes. So this is one that I think confuses people at the very beginning sometimes, where what is an RTMP server? What is an RTMP secret key? And they get a little fudged up. So what I wanted to write here, that's probably not the right way to put it, but basically your computer can stream RTMP video and audio to the content delivery network. And so the Content Delivery Network has an RTMP server URL, and they also give you a stream key secret. So this is actually what it looks like on YouTube. You see that when you start streaming, they will actually give you a stream URL and a stream key.
So those are the two main kind of scary things you see when you go to set up a live stream. It can be a little intimidating because there's a bunch of different letters and numbers, but it's simply a URL and a password, which is the mumbo jumbo letters and numbers.
So you get this secret key and the URL from YouTube, from Facebook. They give it to you. You take it, you put it into your live streaming software, which I'll show you how to do that really quickly today. And then it will automatically connect to the server. Sometimes you can do stream now, where as soon as you start streaming to Facebook or YouTube, it goes live. The other way to do it is to schedule your stream.
Yeah, and if you're looking to create something more dynamic than just a one camera, no frills stream, then you're going to need to do this.
Okay, so those are the main industry lingos that you're going to come into that might trip you up in the beginning. So now let's talk about the plug and play setup. So here's a HuddleCamHD camera. That's the 10X. We're going to show a 20X today and a 10X all plugged in directly to my laptop, and we'll show you how to control them and stream with them. So here's a common setup. A computer, you can see on the next slide, you can see kind of pointing to the USB cables and a joystick. Very simple setup. So the camera's plugged directly into the computer using USB 3 or USB 2. And we bring the video files in, and then we can mix and match which cameras we want to show and how they're set up fairly easily.
USB connectivity is something that's familiar to a lot of people, which is an attractive quality for live streaming.
It simplifies a world that might be a little advanced for those in the beginning. We're showing the cameras on a tripod, which is very simple. 2 cameras, 2 tripods, and again, we might have 2 USB cables coming back to the computer. Each camera will probably need power. And then finally, there may be an extra cable for a joystick that we'll talk about and show in just a moment. Now the next thing, just really quickly, is almost always USB is going to be used for video, and then RS-232 is going to be used for joystick control. Now we're also going to show UVC control, which actually controls the camera directly off of USB, and there is no need for a serial joystick.
That's nice.
It'll be nice to show that. Here is an example of the joystick setup. So each camera is connecting via USB. This would be a 4-camera setup. It's not uncommon for a computer to have 4 USB ports.
Okay.
But you may want to save one for a keyboard and mouse. You may want to use a USB hub. But when it comes to USB hubs, I would probably have the cameras connected directly to the computer.
And use the hub for your mouse or keyboard or
the less
extra
bandwidth
things.
intensive devices. And then let's wait, before we switch back, I just want to show one other thing here. And then the joystick is connected via serial, and these can daisy chain from one to the next, which can save on cabling, and they're called cascade cables. So we're going to show that today in just a moment. In fact,
so with one joystick, you could control multiple cameras.
While we're here, why don't we go over to our overhead camera and show the joystick?
Luckily, we have it here today.
So Tess has control of our this is our 20X camera, and I just want to show the joystick really quickly. So you see here we've got really fast and quick 4 camera setups. So we can do cam 1, 2, 3, and 4 with a click of a button if we need to switch really quickly.
4 hotkeys, though you can add cameras, like 7 cameras.
Yeah, you can do more than, with HuddleCam you can do up to 7. So if you wanted to go to the 5th camera, you would hit address and then address 5 or 6 and then hit enter. Now once you have a camera, and we'll show this, maybe if we zoom, yep, there we go. Now here's the camera that Tess is controlling. You'll see she has control of it here. And go back up a little. I wanted to show the back of the camera just a little. So you can see it's connected via USB for video, RS-232 for control, and then power, of course, as well. So that shows the camera. That even shows it better, yeah, because you can see the camera a little bit. So here's the joystick, very simple and easy. The only other thing that we do a lot of is setting presets. Set and a preset, and then you can call a preset. That's called a PTZ position. And PTZ positions, if you have someone moving around or you have a stage, you can have the cameras automatically go from one place to the next. So that really wraps it up. There's really quick focus, zoom, and iris buttons that allow you to very quickly zoom in and out. The joystick is very intuitive, especially for volunteers or people just getting started. It's an intuitive way to control the cameras beyond just the included IR remote control.
I'm just having fun with it now.
Now Tess is just playing around with it. But you can see, actually, it shows it off quite well. So we have it plugged into our 20x camera. And I'd honestly like to show just maybe a little bit of video from this camera as well. So we'll show all of that in just a moment.
It has variable pan, tilt, and zoom speeds. You can see this is a slow pan. Maybe you can even see the lens adjusting as I zoom in. Yep, you can. I'm going to zoom out.
Yeah.
It's a cool shot. And then I can slowly. All right.
Yeah, and this is actually the video from the camera right here. So it's really great quality. Now you can see Michael in the television there. This is the 20x optical zoom. We're going to be going over all of the different zoom ratios.
You cannot escape.
Things. We're going to find you, Michael.
It's 20x.
So you can zoom all the way across large rooms with the 20x camera, obviously, and it's very good quality. Now, the next thing I want to show is the UVC control, and I'll show it from my laptop here if possible. And basically, I also have a HuddleCam 3X here as well, 3XA. So that's this camera here. And I can actually control the camera in vMix with something called UVC control. So I can actually control the camera over a single USB cable with no need to actually have a serial connection. So that's nice.
I love when we stare into each other's eyes.
Isn't that funny? Dude. So those are two different ways, very simply, to control the cameras, whether we're using, now you can kind of see the camera moving a little bit better, but there it is there, the ability to pan, tilt, and zoom over just a single USB cable, or the ability to, I can zoom in, for example. I can zoom in pretty far. So that's just an example there. So those are the two different ways that we can control the HuddleCam HD cameras: UVC control and serial control. Now, common streaming software. So let's go over really quickly these streaming softwares that are out there today. So in general, when we're looking at streaming software, the more features it has, the harder it's going to be to pick up and use for a beginner. There's just so much more going on. So you may not know this, but Facebook actually has a built-in live streaming app. And it's dummy-proof. It's a camera and a microphone input, and that's really it.
Yeah. There's some fun things that they are adding. I believe they do screen sharing now.
Yes.
And they also do multiple guests virtually. So those are the two additional features that you're going to be able to get with Facebook Live, with the addition of Facebook Reactions, of course.
So if you plug a HuddleCam into your computer and a microphone, even if you have the 3XA, for example, I mean, we should talk more about this, Tess, as a Facebook live streaming camera with the ability to zoom in, because now we can literally, with one USB cable, plug it in. We have a microphone and we have a camera, and you plug it into Facebook Live, and that's all you need to do, and you can go live.
Yeah, and if you've set presets with the camera, you can make it more dimensional with different preset angles, zoom, and whatnot.
So Facebook's built-in streaming app is probably the easiest to use ever.
It's free.
It's free, but it doesn't have any overlays. It doesn't have any PTZ control. It doesn't have the ability to have intros and outros. Even multi-cameras is
and as you grow in experience, you might consider moving up in capability.
Yeah, and we're not going to go over all of these streaming softwares, but some to look into is XSplit. Wirecast is a good intro one. vMix that I was just showing is a little bit more advanced. OBS is really easy to use. It just doesn't have that many features, but you do get the ability to do a lot of what people need, and it's completely free.
Yeah, you could add some, you could add your intro and outro there. You could add an image to share, some music, and that's a good one too, to step up above those minimal ones.
Yeah. So here's an example of vMix, just so it's not completely foreign to you when you see a video production software. Over here you have the preview screen, and that's how you set up your shot. So that's the shot that you're going to transition to when you're ready. So this side over here, you can see, Tess, you're putting on a piece of jewelry, it looks like.
Lucky me that day.
This side over here, this is what is live. So you choose between camera 1 and camera 2, and you decide when you want to switch between camera 1 and 2. And we've talked about this a little bit on HuddleCam's site, but when you have 2 cameras, that really is what opens up the magic of PTZ cameras, because you can zoom one in and then fade to a zoomed in shot. And then you can have another one have a wide shot, and then you can fade to the wide shot, and you can move in and out, and just 2 cameras can look like you have 20 cameras, and you can create a really great live production.
Absolutely.
So just showing you the software here, making sure in the center here, this is where you have your transition buttons. So there's a lot of different transition options.
Yeah, you're able to see what's in the preview. I don't know. How am I going to point to that? That doesn't make any sense. What's in the preview and then what's on the output is what you're seeing on the right. So you can control your transitions.
Down here, it looks like a bunch of little boxes, and that is essentially all of your inputs. So whether you have little pictures or images or overlays or multiple cameras, all of that is usually stored in something that looks like that, whether you're using Wirecast or any software. And then there's always usually like a virtual audio mixer where you can have multiple microphones and things of that nature. And then I just wanted to throw this out here. So when you start live streaming, whether you're doing a meeting room or it's your office or it's a conference, the magic happens when you connect your organization, your office, wherever you're streaming, with the live streaming community.
Yeah, if you think about it, a lot of the customers that already have HuddleCams from us are using them for video conferencing. You're using them for communicating corporate communications. Well, try it. If you have it, try it. See if you can reach your community via live streaming with the HuddleCam cameras that you already have. Why not?
Yeah,
you can now.
These are some quick tips. We can skip this slide just because there's so much text on it. And then this is pretty much wrapping up our presentation. But again, this explains here how basically on these easier to use platforms, you can actually well, here's the thought here is that think about how advanced you want to get. Because if you want to start and learn how to use a new tech TriCaster and you want to do a television production, it's worth putting the time in. But remember, there's going to be a steep learning curve, and then you're going to get better and better, and then eventually you're going to be really good at it. But if you start with something like OBS or the Facebook one, there's no learning curve, but you're not going to take your performance up to somewhere that you might. So think about it. Basically, it's an investment of your time to learn these streaming softwares. So try to choose the one that best fits your ultimate goals.
Yeah. Though I do think it's all right to start with one and progress as you go on.
It definitely is. And watching a show like this, learning the terms, getting your feet wet, try something that's free, try something that's simple. But there's that steep, just remember there's going to be a steep learning curve when you try to get to something a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, and if you guys want to participate in our user group, we're constantly posting new information, answering questions from people in the industry, and just sharing common interests and new trends. So go ahead to facebook.com/group/HuddleCamHD and join the fun.
Well, thank you so much for watching this presentation, guys. We've covered how to live stream with HuddleCam cameras, a couple different control options. Now we're going to take your questions and run our giveaway in just a moment.
Yes, we'll see you soon. Should be easy then.
Yeah. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is go ahead and roll the giveaway. What we're going to do is we're going to pull 3 times, and you have to be live watching in the chat in order to win. So we're going to go ahead and pull a winner.
For those of you that are new here, remember we do a giveaway every Friday at 12:25 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern.
So here we go. We have Jobe Wara Oliveira. So we're going to pull it 3 times. If no one claims the prize, then we'll just save it for next week. Jobe is from Brazil. So what we're going to do is quickly check the latency that we're seeing. Hi, Tom. Thank you for joining. Hi, Layla. How do you get into the giveaway? Well, it's not necessarily too late. HuddleCamHD.com/show. There's a couple different ways to enter. As long as Jobe's not here, you're still going to have a chance to win. We'll give Jobe about roughly 60 seconds, knowing that there's some latency with live streaming. But Tessa's going to put it in the chat, I believe. Or I could do it.
I did post it in the chat at the beginning of the show, the link.
Okay.
Roland says, do you have recommended USB hubs? Which ones do we use?
That's a good question. Pluggable is a really good one. Again, we don't usually use USB hubs for cameras, just to keep that in mind. We usually almost always use...
Direct into your PC.
Yeah, the camera's directly into your PC. So with that being said, are some really good USB hubs. USB extenders, we love Icron, and they have some extension hubs as well. But there's some really good USB 3.0 hubs, and people try to use them for multiple USB 3.0 cameras. And I just have to say, if you've got to open USB 3.0 port, use it for the camera. Don't put a bottleneck in between the camera and your computer. What are you using to draw on the screen? So, Chad, we are using what's called an NDI Telestrator. So this is a Windows tablet. And our whole setup really allows us to annotate on live video. So we can see it here. I'm not sure if the channel's up. But essentially, any live video source in our vMix streaming system allows us to go ahead and annotate and do different things.
Jobe's here.
Jobe's here. Congratulations, Jobe. Keep in mind that you will need to pay for shipping to Brazil. We'd only cover shipping within the United States. But congratulations, Jobe. You have now won.
First time. Yay.
Yay.
First draw. Saves everybody a lot of time.
Congratulations. So now we're going to hang out in our post-show news set a little bit, answer some questions, and see what we can do. Thanks again, everybody. All right.
I'm going to climb over here.
So if there's any questions about anything you saw during the show, that's what we cover in the post-show. Ta-da! We're live on YouTube and Facebook. And anything that you think needs to be covered, any questions, now's the time to ask. We do this show every week at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern.
No new questions here.
All right,
Just
great.
missed the show.
Well,
I'm live now. Thank you. Thank you.
The show will be available on demand, so everyone can watch it on demand. We'll watch the comments on YouTube and Facebook, of course, and we'll take it from there. So thank you, everyone, for watching. We have a giveaway every week.
That's so silly. Oh, no, I touched your hand.
Oh, no.
You need to go get hand sanitizer.
I will. Tess is a little under the weather. But
on that note, let's be glad this show is virtual and live. This way you will not be infected like my boss here.
Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching the show.